Hello, and welcome to Azeroth United, the podcast where we talk about World of Warcraft Dragonflight, World of Warcraft Classic, and everything in between. My name is Denethor, and I am your host. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Denethor, and we're back. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're definitely back, and tomorrow is the big day. It's BlizzCon. We're going to get the announcement of what is going to happen, what's the future of World of Warcraft. So many questions will be answered tomorrow, so I just like to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. It's been a weird couple of weeks here at my house, and definitely would like to get back into podcasting. It's something that I really enjoy doing and something that I've definitely missed. But we're definitely back, and we're definitely going to be going full speed ahead with some new episodes, with some new content, lots of new things coming up and heading into the holidays. But definitely tomorrow, the big day, that's going to really decide what the future of World of Warcraft is going to be and kind of dictate how things are going to play out over the next few years, possibly even potentially. So, like I said, thank you for tuning in. And as always, if you have any questions or comments about the podcast, or if you have a particular topic that you'd like to hear discussed, please email me at denethor1@gmail.com, or you can leave a voice message by going to speakpipe.com/AzerothUnited. Also, if you enjoy the show, please do consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I know I haven't earned it, and it would be just a generosity on your part, but it definitely helps out the distribution, so that would really mean a lot to us. And if you're so inclined, we'd be very grateful. So anyway, it doesn't really even matter what's going on this week in World of Warcraft, because the big news is going to be tomorrow. So I wanted to get in and get a little bit of a recording done tonight to just say thank you for listening, and thank you for being part of Azeroth United. And we definitely are going to have a lot more information coming up. But now let's get into the news.
It's time for the news.
First off, let's not pretend that any of the other news matters at this point. We've got BlizzCon coming up tomorrow. The schedule has already been released by Blizzard, and 11 a.m. Pacific time is the opening ceremony, and 1:30 p.m. Pacific time is what's new in World of Warcraft. And 3:30 p.m. Pacific time is going to be what's new in World of Warcraft Classic. So these are the big announcements. This is the big news. It's going to be a little bit later in the day for me because I'm on the East Coast time. So, yeah, it's very exciting. There's definitely a lot to digest leading up to BlizzCon. There's been a lot of leaks going on, but we're gonna try and stick to the facts here and not delve too deeply into the abyss of the Wowhead leak factory. So, all right. First off, just in case you haven't checked it out yet, maybe you're in your hotel room at BlizzCon in Anaheim, California, waiting for BlizzCon, or you're just sitting in your house or whatever. Not if you're in your car. Don't do this if you're in your car. But anywhere that you are not at a risk of being distracted, go check out Warcraft Rumble, because it is now available. You can download it, you can install it, you can play it. So definitely go check that out. This is the new mobile game. By all accounts, it's pretty fun. I'm installing it right now. I haven't had an opportunity to download and or install this yet, but from what I've heard, it's pretty cool. It's a legit game. It's not World of Warcraft mobile. It is definitely a different game. It's more like, I think somebody compared it to Clash Royale or Clash of Clans type thing. It's more like a base defense type game. So anyway, doesn't matter. It's a new game. If you're interested in it, check it out. There's going to be some discussion about it at BlizzCon. The big thing is it's using all of the Warcraft characters, and there is a little bit of a it's in game in World of Warcraft, so like it's in universe, it's in the game, but it's a mobile game on our phones. So in game, there's like arcade pinball machine type console. I don't know. Anyway, if this is something you're interested in, check it out. And even if you're not interested, still check it out, because maybe you will be interested after you've checked it out. So you never know. Anyway, in other news, there is no other news because it's BlizzCon, and that's the big news. So we're just going to get right into some discussions about World of Warcraft, a little bit of discussion about patch 10.1.7, which is on current live servers, and some more discussion about patch 10.2, which is coming up in a few days.
Let's talk about World of Warcraft.
This week in WoW Dragonflight, the Mythic Plus affixes are Fortified, Bursting, and Storming. So Fortified is going to be non-boss enemies have more health and deal 30% more damage. Storming is tornadoes spawn around enemy creatures while in combat. And Bursting is non-boss enemies explode on death, causing all players to suffer flat damage that scales with keystone level. This effect stacks. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares at this point? The patch is coming out next Tuesday. So we'll get one more week of Mythic Plus after the patch launches, but I don't think it's gonna matter in terms of your rating. I think this is the last week for rating. Next week's would be just for if you happen to just run a Mythic Plus. Next week's is going to be Tyrannical Afflicted Bolstering, but it doesn't really matter because we're getting Season 3 the week after that, so we'll get the new dungeon pool. We'll get the new scaling, the new upgrade system, all of that stuff. So if you want to run Mythic Plus this week for fun, yeah, please go ahead and do it. It's still a lot of fun. It's still my favorite game mode. But if you're trying for rating, this is your last chance next week. I don't believe it counts. You might be able to get KSM next week or get your level 20 portals or your Keystone 20 portals, but you won't be able to get the mounts. I don't believe. I think this is the last week. Anyway, if you know, you know, and if you're not sure, then it's probably too late for you. So let's just call it there. Yeah, the bonus week the bonus event this week. We have two bonus events. We have the World Quest bonus events, which is a 50% increase in the reputation for World Quests. And we also have the Pet Battle bonus event, which is going to be, I believe it's 50% XP for pets. I kind of gave up on the Pet Battle. You know, that the Pet Battle is one of those things that every now and then I'll jump in. I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to do some Pet Battles. And then after a couple of days, I'm like, I really don't enjoy this. This is not fun. It's just, you know, does a mechanical beat an elemental, or does a magical beat a beast, or a critter defeat a, you know, it's fine. I do enjoy it every now and then. I don't dislike the game mode, but generally speaking, that's not for me. But the World Quest bonus event this is a good one. This does also affect Shadowlands, BFA, and Legion World Quests. So if you are looking for some rep from Shadowlands, BFA, or Legion, definitely go hit those up. If you're looking for rep from Dragonflight, definitely want to get that. Do all the world quests you can this week, because it's going to give you a whole bunch of rep, or a whole bunch of renown. And going into next week, it's going to be all about the Emerald Dream. So you're not going to be running around trying to get Maruk Centaur rep. You're going to want to be over in the Emerald Dream getting Dream Warden's rep. So yeah, definitely we need to knock this out. This is the last chance. You know, and honestly, this is your last chance for, you know, if you've got a character that you're trying to get some upgrades on, maybe you want to get some flight stones real quick, so you're better prepared going into patch 10.2. This is the chance to do it. This is focus on what you got to do. Make sure your professions are leveled up. Make sure your alts are geared. Make sure your transmog is legit, because really, that's the most important thing. Is just make sure your transmog is set. The rest of that stuff doesn't matter. Just pick out a good transmog. If you got to go run, Nyalotha one more time, or you got to. If you need to run Molten Core, I don't know what to tell you. It's been around for a while, so maybe you should have done that already. But regardless, if you're looking for a leg up going into patch 10.2, definitely get your transmog set, because that is definitely going to give you a boost in confidence, which will boost your damage, which will make your character just so much better. So aside from that, not too much going on. In game this week, it's actually kind of dead. I tried to do I just leveled up an Unholy Death Knight, and I tried to do the Mega Dungeon on Heroic through the random dungeon finder, because I thought, just I'll knock that out before next week, and it'll be fine. And so apparently the healers are still going in and dropping after the first boss in Mirzon's Rise. So yeah, it's fun. So good luck if you're trying to run the Mega Dungeon on Heroic. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, aside from that, I'm not even really bothering with any more of the in-game events. I haven't made soup for a couple weeks now, and I really don't care about Dragonbane Keep. So, Farak, I did do the Farak Assault this week because I do it robotically. It's like mechanical. You just go, you're like flying around. You're like, oh, I got to go do the Farak Assault. And you're halfway through it before you realize, why am I doing this? This gives me literally nothing. I don't need the Drake Stones. I don't need the suffused gear. This is garbage. It's a waste of time, but you do it because we're WoW players, and Blizzard has programmed us to, here's the thing. Oh, okay, I better go do it. I was actually just listening to another podcast where they were talking about the lack of an AP grind, and how some players feel that that's one of the biggest flaws of Dragonflight, is that there's no daily grind that you can get on and just, oh, I got to get my artifact power, I got to get my Azerite power, I got to go grind Anima. There's nothing in Dragonflight. I mean, Dragon Isle's resources isn't really a compelling currency to go grind. So, yeah, I don't know. Regardless, whether or not patch 10.2 is the last major content patch of Dragonflight, whether or not we're about to get revealed something completely a curveball thrown at us at BlizzCon, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But either way, I'm not worried about it, because you know what? I just love playing this game, and I'll happily level up 15 alts if that's what I need to do to occupy my time in the game, because I don't need an artificial system to keep me playing. If I want to play, I'll play. If I don't want to play, I'll go play City Skylines 2. So yeah, there you go. All right, let's talk about BlizzCon, because so I was going to do a whole BlizzCon prediction episode and kind of go over some of the thoughts and theories about that. Obviously, that didn't happen. I had a last minute change of plans, and so that did not happen. So I was very disappointed by that. But here we are now, and we're talking about BlizzCon. So BlizzCon, we've got a couple of things. First off, let's. One of the things that I wanted to kind of jokingly, of course, but lovingly as well. Let's talk about some of the BlizzCon prop bets. So if you are familiar with prop bets, those are the ones that you go bet on the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not going to bet on the score. I'm going to bet on what's the longest kick going to be. I'm going to bet on whether or not the kicker falls down. I'm going to bet on how many interceptions the quarterback is going to throw. I'm going to bet on how many times the coach is going to say prepared in the interview, or how many times the coach is going to look away really quickly because he's trying to escape the interviewer at halftime. So these are the prop bets, and you can bet on all these things in Las Vegas. So we're going to do a couple of quick BlizzCon prop bets. So first one is how many times, or how many Microsoft people are going to be at BlizzCon? Is it going to be 0? Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be more than 1? I don't know. Are we going to have Phil Spencer walk out on stage at BlizzCon? Are we going to have Nadella walk out? I mean, shoot. maybe we'll just get the CEO out there, or maybe none. Maybe the Microsoft execs are actually busy doing work, and BlizzCon is just a big marketing stunt. So I don't know. We'll see. I definitely think one of my other prop bets was whether or not Chris Metzen is going to do the opening ceremonies. I think that's a pretty safe bet. I think that's one of the reasons why they announced this before BlizzCon instead of during or after BlizzCon, is so that we are all expecting Chris Metzen to walk out and say, "Where are you, Horde? Let me hear you, Alliance." So, yeah, I think that one you could take to the bank. I think you can safely say Chris Metzen's going to walk out and say, "Yo, what's up?" Because, yeah, they really don't have anyone else who has that charisma and that dynamism that Chris Metzen does. So, it's Mikey Barr going to walk out and get the crowd riled up? Probably not. I mean, he's probably more dynamic than JL and Brack, but he's if I say, hey, picture a nerd, like the nerdiest guy that you can think of, some of you are going to think of Mikey Barr. I'm just saying it right now. He's a pretty nerdy looking dude, and we're all nerdy, but he's pretty nerdy looking. So, yeah. But the other one that I had thought of was, will there be an announcement that's booed at BlizzCon? Are we going to get a Diablo Immortal type announcement, or a Warlords of Draenor type announcement where somebody says, "Is this a joke? You're messing with us, right, Blizzard?" No. Are we going to get an announcement that's booed at BlizzCon? And I think that Blizzard has learned their lesson, and they are going to be so careful about how they announce things and what they announce, that everything has gone through a million focus groups, woke groups, whatever you want to call them. They are prepared to make really good but careful announcements. So, yeah, we'll definitely see some interesting presentations at BlizzCon, no doubt. But I don't think we're going to get anything booed, except for maybe like the costume contest or something like that. But as far as the World of Warcraft retail and classic announcements, I don't think we're going to get any boos. Speaking of retail and classic announcements at BlizzCon, yeah, the Blizzard, or sorry, the BlizzCon announcements are definitely something that I've seen the leaks. I've seen all the leaks, every single one. I have no fear of spoilers. One thing that I haven't spoiled recently in the last 10 years was Avengers Endgame. I did not spoil that. I spoiled Infinity War, spoiled Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America Man, all of them. Spoiled them all. I don't care. I just want to watch the movie. But it's nice to know what's coming. But not Endgame. For whatever reason, I didn't spoil that one. I even spoiled the freaking Star Wars prequels and the Star Wars sequels and all that stuff. I'm not a big, I don't want to hear spoilers, la la la. No, I'm not that guy. I'll take all the spoilers. So I've seen all the leaks. I've seen all the Avaloran, Kaz Algar, all that stuff. I mean, that's all in game. That's not something that Blizzard has been hiding from us. It's literally in game. Those are in Uldaman. So what does it mean? I don't know. Are we going to get a new continent called Avaloran with a city called Kazalgar that's populated by a bunch of iron dwarves? I don't know. Maybe. It could be a red herring. It could be something that Blizzard is prepping for the future. It could be something that maybe comes out during the next expansion, or maybe even the one after that. Maybe we'll get 12.x Return to Avaloran or something. I don't know. But this time around has definitely been different as far as the leaks go, because we've gotten some leaks and we've gotten some things out there that's like, baby. But most of it is just made up bullshit. Pardon my language. Yeah, the leaks out there are terrible, and they're sad, and they make me want to cry, because people are putting out low effort garbage, and the WoW community has disappointed me greatly. I can't even go on MMO Champion because it just makes me sad. Where are you, WoW community? You used to be so good at this, and now it's just a shame. It's just a shame. As far as Classic goes, 99%, 99% we're going to get Classic Plus. Now, will they call it Classic Plus? I don't know about that. Maybe not. Maybe they'll call it Classic Season of Mastery or Season of Classic Plus, or I don't know, Season of Burritos. I could go for a burrito right now. It's 11 o'clock at night. I could definitely go for a burrito. But yeah, what are we going to get in Classic? See, this is the thing. Classic Plus is really, really tricky because it's so easy to screw it up. Okay, I've seen some leaks for Classic Plus, and some of them are things like, oh, level cap to 70. Wrong. That is the wrong way to do Classic Plus. I've seen new races, ogres and high elves. Wrong. That's the wrong way to do Classic Plus. If Blizzard does these things, I am going to be so disappointed in what they have come up with. There's no way that adding new races is what the players are looking for. They're not looking for, oh, I want to play a high elf in Classic. No, yeah, okay, so there might be one horny guy that's like, I want to play a female high elf. Ooh, on Alliance side. Whatever, bro. Go do whatever you got to do. But the majority of the players want new content that doesn't replace the old content. They want some modifications to balancing to the players or to the classes that the players can. You could play a Boomkin, you could play a Ret Paladin, you could play a Shadow Priest, you could play a Arcane Mage, you could play a Hunter. I mean, there's so many things that Blizzard could do with Classic. People are tired of World of Warcraft. They're tired of it. Now, granted, there are a lot of people who genuinely enjoy playing a warrior, but for the most part, the people who play warriors in Classic do so because they have no choice. They have to play a warrior to be competitive. It is awful. It is terrible. I wish with all my heart that Blizzard would say, hey, you know what we could do? We could make some of these other classes better. We could make fights that the warriors are not the king of DPS or the queen of DPS, if that's your thing. Or if they really wanted to change things up, change up the hit dynamic, change up the weapon skill dynamic. That's really what's giving the warriors the advantage. Rogues can't use edge masters, only warriors can. It's so unfair. The entire game is focused on and based on how well warriors do. It is absurd. Mages have to wear green of fire or of frost gear in order to be competitive with warriors. It is disgusting. So, you want a Classic Plus to be successful? Make it so that warriors aren't the only game in town. Make it so that mages and warlocks are just as good of DPS. Rogues, just as good of DPS. I don't need warriors to be the last DPS. I don't need them to be knocked down. I need the other classes brought up. I need Ret Paladins, Boomkins, Feral Druids. I need them all brought up. They don't need to be the same level as the pure DPS classes, but they definitely need to be brought up. Boomkins need a mana management system. Same thing with Shadow Priests. They need a way to manage their mana. Feral Druids need a way to have a weapon that's not a fucking crowd pummeler. I am so sick of that meta. It is the stupidest thing ever. Let me go run Gnomeregan 1,000,000 times so that I can raid. What? That is absurd. So, let's change things up a little bit. Let's make it a little bit better for all the classes, for all the specs. We don't need Wrath of the Lich King where everybody's equal. Let's just make it a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, so that when that guild is like, sure, bro, you can come on your Feral Druid, you don't immediately go, oh, crap, I have to go farm crowd pummelers for the next 1,000 years. Give Druids a weapon, or make the crowd pummeler something that make it have a 5-minute cooldown, but that buff lasts forever. It never goes away, but you got a 5-minute cooldown on it. So you go get one crowd pummeler, and then you're set. That's fine. I'll take that. I also really think that, especially for the early end game, things like the Hodge, can we please not make the Hodge like the best trinket in the game for the early end game? Come on, Blizzard, please. Anyway, I'm just rambling on about Classic Plus. The point is, I definitely think we're going to see some announcements about Classic Plus and patch 11.0, and I'm going to say it right now, it's not going to be Abelorn. I think that is a red herring, and we're all being fooled. Blizzard is totally trolling us, and it is going to be something ridiculous like, Transformers. World of Warcraft Transformers. Let's just go. Optimus Prime is there, and him and Alex Strauza just ride off into the sunset. Let's go with that. Right. So, what else is going on at BlizzCon? That's really it as far as the big stuff. I mean, you're going to have some Diablo talk, some Warcraft Rumble talk. Will we see something new for StarCraft? Maybe. I would love something new for StarCraft. Honestly, StarCraft is actually one of the reasons why I love Blizzard games today, because I played Warcraft 2 and it was like, yeah, it was fine. It's whatever. It's okay. But StarCraft, that game, it's the best. It is so much fun. I could go back and play the original StarCraft, not the cleaned up, updated graphics for the old shitty graphics. I could still go back and play that and just enjoy it and have a blast because it's so good. So I'm really hoping for some form of StarCraft announcement, even if it's like, hey, StarCraft still exists, people. So, I mean, let's not forget that StarCraft was one of the games that was featured on the Microsoft announcement image that they released that had Call of Duty, Candy Crush, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, and StarCraft. So, just saying, I think Microsoft might be, hey, what about this StarCraft game? You guys do anything with that? I mean, shoot. Can we get like a space battle, spaceship combat game in the StarCraft universe? How dope would that be? Something that, I mean, look, I've played EVE Online, and I could live the rest of my life and never play it again and be a happy man. But I'd love a really cool space combat game. I'm just saying. So, something to think about. So aside from that, we'll be monitoring the BlizzCon live feed and watching for the news to see what comes out, and we'll definitely be putting out an episode sometime in the beginning of next week to discuss whatever is announced and I'll give my thoughts on it, and we'll see where we're going from there. So, and we'll get back on a regular schedule. I'd like to target Tuesdays, but real life happens. So whatever day the episode happens to get out, that's when it gets out. So I appreciate anyone who's listening. And that's going to wrap up our show for today. So thank you. And as always, if you have any comments, any feedback, anything that you'd like to say, you want to tell me I'm terrible, you want to compliment my haircut that you've never seen before, please email me at denethar1@gmail.com. Or if you happen to catch me streaming, I do occasionally stream World of Warcraft at twitch.tv/denethar01, or my YouTube channel, which is at denethar01. And like I said before, I don't have any content on there other than the podcast episodes, but I am still working on content. But past few weeks have really done a number on me. So all the work that I've been doing on YouTube videos has ground to a halt. So I'll get that back going, especially now that the weather has changed and it's getting cold. So I'll be spending a lot more time indoors. So I'll be putting a lot more time into things like putting out YouTube videos. So anyway, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Anybody who's listened to this episode, and especially if you've gotten this far into the episode, thank you so much. I put a lot of work into the podcast, and I really appreciate that people listen to it, and I hope that they're enjoying it. So anyway, that's all. Appreciate it, and I'll see you all in Azeroth.